What would you do with an extra $20,000 every month? Does that seem impossible? Well, that's exactly what plenty of entrepreneurs are doing every month by using AI like ChatGPT. Today, I'm going to show you an exciting path to financial empowerment using AI tools that are revolutionizing the way that we make money online. I'll reveal how you can harness the power of AI to turn your creativity and skills into a lucrative income stream. Whether you're a beginner, an intermediate user, or an advanced expert, there's something here for everybody, and I guarantee you'll want to stick around to the end. So the first section is what I call like the beginner level. This is things that anybody can start. So the first thing on the list is Amazon KDP. You can write a book, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, even coloring books, which I've been experimenting with recently, crosswords or word searches. You can sell ebooks that are as short as like 10,000 words. Just make sure that the quality is high enough. Otherwise you'll get bad reviews and it won't sell, so don't bother making like a low quality book. You might as well spend the extra time and then actually get it to sell. And to save money up front, I recommend designing your own covers, formatting the books, doing everything yourself so you have zero expenses. And as an example of this, you can look at a company called Coco.io on Amazon. They sell coloring books, and I've heard allegedly that they're making like probably more than $20,000 a month based on how the books are ranking and how many books they actually have. So the second thing you can do to use AI to make money is with social media. So you can get AI to generate Instagram posts, Twitter posts, or even entire faceless YouTube videos. I've done a video in the past about making faceless YouTube videos, and there's plenty of other creators that have shown you how to do that as well that you can check out. Number 3, writing YouTube scripts for videos or other ghostwriting services. So I actually use ChatGPT to kind of brainstorm some of the ideas for this script. You'll need to do your own research and kind of understand what makes a video script good and how to get people's attention. But once you can do that, you can get hired by like YouTubers and other people to help them write scripts. Next thing is making logos and other graphics. This is easier than ever with DALL-E 3. You can make profile pictures for people, banners, logos. You might want to avoid using words in the images because it's not very good at that yet. So what I would do is get DALL-E to generate the image, and then you can take it into Canva and then put a nice font over top of it. The next is selling designs and templates on Etsy. People want to buy all kinds of repeating patterns to print on mugs, t-shirts, etc. to sell in their own shops. So you design it and then they print it on something, so you don't have to do the physical work. You can also use a website like Redbubble or something that prints t-shirts on demand, and you can just throw your designs up there too. You can sell like quilting or stained glass patterns, any kind of crafts. They tend to have stuff there that ChatGPT and DALL-E 3 can help you make. And you could also start like a weekly newsletter, and that's my beginner kind of ideas. So where can you start offering these beginner level services? Several user-friendly platforms where you can get started quickly and connect with potential clients. Some of the most beginner-friendly options, in my opinion, are Upwork and Fiverr. You can also look on social media, use your personal networks, or join relevant groups on social media platforms to find clients. The second section, so this is more the intermediate things where it requires a little bit of like agency and being willing to try new things. So the first thing is starting a blog. So you can start your own website for under $100 a year. That includes your host and your domain. You can sign up through a website like HostGator or Bluehost. You can use Namecheap to get your domains. Pick like a specific niche or topic and be sure to do your keyword research before you start. I would spend at least a couple hours deciding on what you want to make the website about. I would pick something that you're passionate about so you actually want to write with it. Don't just go on like what's the most profitable niche, because it might be boring as heck to write about. And I made this one intermediate because most people are scared to get started with starting their own blog, especially if you've never made a website before. It can be really intimidating. I know when I started, I was like, oh, what if I spend like $10 to register this website and then I can't get it set up? But it's actually easier than ever. It's like such an easy sign up process. If you can sign up for Facebook, it's only a little bit harder than that to make a website. It's literally like they have one-click WordPress install. You just click a button and it goes. And if you run into any problems, there's YouTube tutorials on setting up websites for pretty much any of the major hosting companies or domain sellers, and how to link them together and all that stuff is up there on YouTube. So just refer to that if you get stuck. The next thing is creating an app. This one might be a bit more towards the advanced side, but I threw it in intermediate just because I know ChatGPT can code now, and there's other websites where you can use kind of like drag and drop interfaces to build your own app with zero coding experience. So I definitely, if you have the time and you're interested, I would experiment with this and create a simple mobile app or game and upload it to the Android or the iOS store and just see if it sells, and then you can start putting advertisements in it and stuff like that. Next up, create social media posts for Instagram, Twitter, etc. for companies. So if they don't have their own in-house graphic designer, they might hire you on a regular basis to just make their social media posts for them. You could be like a social media manager for the companies. We'll find it'll take a little bit more effort to find these clients and stuff, but then once you have it set up, it'll be like a recurring income. You can do this as just a side gig in a couple hours a week. Next is designing YouTube thumbnails with Canva. And you can also do like a package where you combine making YouTube thumbnails and also suggesting video titles. Those would go really well together, I think. Recently discovered through making my own videos how important it is to make a good thumbnail. Really, I've like increased my click-through rate on my videos from like 2% to 10% just by putting a little bit of effort into making good thumbnails. So people will definitely pay you really well for that. There's people that get like hundreds of dollars per thumbnail that they make. Obviously, as a beginner, you're going to start off maybe on Fiverr doing $5 per thumbnail, but start somewhere and build up the reviews and then go from there. So let's look at the next section, which is the advanced level. So you're going to have to like get a little bit of some other kind of education or put in a lot more effort for these ones. So the first one is becoming a prompt engineer. So this is an actual job now. People are making 6 figures a year, basically designing really good prompts for companies to use in AI like ChatGPT. But you have to really know your stuff here. I wouldn't just apply as a casual ChatGPT user and hope that you would get hired. You want to kind of like make a portfolio of cool prompts that you've made. Maybe I think there's like prompt hacking kind of competitions that you could take part in, and then if you score like number 1 in that, you probably get hired by companies who want help making their own prompts. Okay, next up is stock trading. Big disclaimer. Every time stocks are mentioned, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't recommend this. You might lose money, but you can use AI to help you analyze different indicators on charts, but obviously there's still risk involved. So don't invest more than you can lose, especially at first. If you want to try this, I'd recommend starting as small as possible just to prove the concept. Maybe like invest like $5 or $10 at a time and then see if you make a return. If it's like a percentage, if you're making like 10% a day, that's huge, and you can just scale that up over time as long as you're consistent with it. Next is making custom chatbots. You can do this for yourself and then host it on your own website, or you can make custom chatbots for companies. Think about kind of like if you go on a website for like your phone or your internet provider, if you've had a problem, you probably run into this where you click the chat window and it's just like they've got AIs talking to you now, so it's like a chatbot that you have to go through before you're able to get to a human. So somebody's got to create those for every company out there, and more smaller companies are going to start needing those too, so it's a good market that you could focus on just creating chatbots for companies. Towards the upper end, I would put copywriting. So this is already kind of like a high skill job. I don't even do copywriting and the type of writing that I do for clients, so it's kind of like the next level up there. You're creating like sales pages and sales funnels. You need to really understand human psychology, and the copywriting is more like really every single word making it count for maximum effect. So you'll probably have trouble as a complete beginner trying to break into this, but if you invest the time, it can pay really well. I hear there's lots of copywriters that are making 6 figures a year. They're probably some of the best paid writers out there. And then there's really advanced stuff that you could try if you want to start like a whole AI company. I'm sure there's like AI healthcare and finance companies that you could create, but that would require a lot of work, a lot of technical expertise. But this is a big list to get you started, so see if there's anything that you want to try and go out there and make some money with AI.